Well, good morning. Welcome to all our Links Fellowship family. And then if you're a guest with us this morning, we're really glad that you have joined us. My distinct privilege today is that I have a friend and a colleague of sorts as a conversation partner, Wally Armstrong. Wally, good morning to you.
Good morning, Dennis.
Look, I know you have a busy schedule, and so we're going to just get right to it. Listen, I was curious. I've read the book. I've had the privilege, thanks to you, to watch the movie. The movie's coming out in April, I believe, April 18th and 19th at theaters across the country. The Mulligan. I was just wondering, in all those many years on the PGA Tour, did you have a Mulligan moment?
I've probably had one every week, but
Yeah.
no, I think back of a second chance I had at the Western Open when I was leading the tournament, tied with Tom Watson after 3 rounds, and that was the year he won 7 tournaments. And I was sticking to him like glue all the way around. And I was tied going into the 15th hole, and that's a severe dogleg to the right with a huge slope out in the fairway where your ball lands. And it had a drought that year, so the fairways were like bricks. And I hit my drive out there, and I knew it was going to be on that slope and run down into these bushes all the way down on the corner there. And when I walked over the ridge, I looked out there, and my ball was like it was stuck on this severe slope. I couldn't believe it. And I went up and I looked down under my ball, and it had rolled down in the fairway. It was resting against a tiny little melting ice cube that was holding it up. I couldn't believe it. I still can't believe it, but it was written up in the newspaper, so I've got the clipping. But anyway, the real test came, Dennis, when I had to wait for the other guys to hit first.
Yeah, I bet.
That thing was melting. So I had my grip ready. I had my stance ready. As soon as they hit Dave Eichelberger and Tom, then I got in there. I think it was probably the fastest shot in history. And
did you ever figure out where the ice cube came from? And
have no idea. But I got a great second chance, because that would have been down in the bushes. And one of my best finishes, I ended up finishing second to Tom Watson. And that was definitely one of the mulligans on the tour.
Well, you mentioned second chances, and obviously that ties in with the entire theme of the book and the movie, The Mulligan.
Yeah.
Could you just tell us about what inspired this, and really, just tell us how the metaphor of a mulligan works for us?
Well, in golf, it's when you blow a tee shot, the first tee shot, and then your opponents or your partners can say, take a mulligan, get a second shot, a do-over. It's free. You can't stand up and say, I'm going to take one. It has to be offered to you as a gift. And in the Bible, we call this grace. It's God's unmerited love lavished upon us, and who we in no way deserve it. So a mulligan is a second chance, and God is the God of second chances. In the Bible is a book of mulligans. There's so many examples. You can go all the way through the Bible, and man is always blowing it. He's always self-centered, but God says there is a better way, and that's a way to choose me. And if you choose me, then I'll give you a second chance. And of course, Jesus was the ultimate mulligan that God sent to give us a second chance to be reunited with him. So when I started thinking about this theme in the late around 98, 99, we have a friend named Tim Philpott who was speaking all over the world about this second chance called the mulligan. And we got together and we were thinking about, well, what would be a great, it's probably the best illustration of grace that we can use, to illustrate to golfers about the second chance God's offers. So Tim and I met with Jim Hiskey, another buddy of mine, and some other men, and we thought, well, why don't we create some materials that we could use and distribute to ministries around the country on how to use this Mulligan metaphor as an outreach tool, as a way to share the good news of a second chance. And as I'm thinking about it, I had been working on a kid's book with an old pro who mentors these young kids and takes them out for lessons. And then and each lesson is a life skill truth. And so I already had created this old pro who was really the oldest member, club champion at a club that I grew up in Indiana. And he mentored me. And so I had this guy created, this old pro. And I thought, well, maybe we'll create a story with a corporate man that needs a second chance. And that could be a great book to distribute along with other materials to ministries about how to share this great opportunity of a second chance. So I roughed out some chapters, and then I met Ken Blanchard, who had met him personally, but we met up in Chicago, not even about this book, but about another situation. And I mentioned him about this book, and he said, hey, this book is about me. This is about my life. I'm that corporate man in many ways, and came to Christ, during my career, at the height of my career, when someone gave him a book on halftime about going from success to significance. So I sent him some of the writings I had, and we met together and started roughing out the story. And
look what the Lord has done. Just his grace towards you, and then your faithful response. Listen, I want to thank you for this morning. I look forward to next Friday as well, where you and I will be talking about another major theme in your book, and
absolutely,
on reconciliation. So thanks again for this morning. See you guys next Friday. God's blessings on everyone out there.
Thank you.